Hello guys. Welcome to Diablo the Primordial. This video is the second part of Walpurgis. So if you have not watched the first part, then please watch it. The link is in the description. And please check out my second channel Top Anime Sensei for the light novel of Tensei Shitara. So without any further delay, let's start. But before we start, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates. I left behind Milam and Ramirez, having Mazari lead me to Guy. Actually, Chloe had come to meet me last night. We were relaxing and sitting in the parlor while having a talk about the current situation. Because I don't need sleep, in the end we had a long conversation till the break of dawn. I was able to slowly hear her story, of her leaping into the past, as well as about Hinata's soul after she had parted with me. Sensei, have I become strong? Yes, Chloe is shouldering a hardship that can't easily be described with words. As she appreciates my consolation and words, it would be rude if I thoughtlessly said that. Therefore, you are still weak. Still not good at all. Such a thing, as showing your weaknesses to a demon lord, is out of the question if you are a hero. Well, I admit that you have done your best. Therefore, endure a bit longer. I said as such. It was irritating that I had no choice but to put on airs to deceive her. Chloe seemed to be happy, to be relieved. I saw her making such expressions. Afterwards, I had a match with Chloe. I checked out the ability of the strongest hero, to ascertain whether she could face Guy or not. 2 practice swords were prepared. We decided to use them. Sensei, you became taller, right? Somehow, your vibes resemble Shizu Sensei. While saying those words, Chloe received the practice sword. Do I resemble her? Because she was the origin of my human form, I might have inherited her vibes as well. There was no referee. It was a test of strength to the end. I threw a coin into the air, and when it hit the ground, it would signal for the start of the match. As we faced each other calmly, I lightly threw the coin. The coin drew a parabola curve while rotating. It revolved in the air before falling. The coin gave a clear ting as it hit the ground. Chloe and I moved at the same time. Opposing Chloe's ultimate skill Spacetime Lord Yog-Sothoth was my ultimate skill Void God Azathoth. The match was in a stalemate, during which, I read a momentary gap in Chloe's defense with future prediction. As I was going to swing my practice sword aiming for that, I noticed that I had become the side receiving an attack. A blade approached right in front of my eyes. It's my win, right? Is this for real? I was dumbfounded when I heard Chloe's voice. This is far from checking whether she can face Guy or not. It had become an easy defeat for me. Master, the ability of time control has been unleashed. I used my ability as I was being led to by the voice. Though I didn't know what it was, I felt like I could manage, somehow, if I used it. The world stopped when I used the ability. I understood that the world had stopped moving, like it was suspended, because my cognition had been enhanced by 1,000,000 times. Not just my cognition but also my movement, to the point I can move at the speed of 1,000,000 times normal speed. In other words, by controlling the flow of time, it is possible to accelerate myself. It is a superpower that is different from super acceleration, in principle. Due to the backlash of this ability, I can't cause any physical effects at all. Being able to move under the rules of this ability was only me. No, there's one other person who can. That person is Chloe. Awawa. As expected of Rimuru Sensei. You can exist in this suspended world. Skip it. Something like this, for a demon lord like me, such a thing is easy, you know. Although I hadn't intended to show off, I answered like that. I mustn't display weakness to my student, even if she was just my student for a few months. If compared to the months and years that Chloe has lived, it would just be a few trifling months. No, for me, those few months, daily lives, were a treasure surpassing everything else. Was it an auditory hallucination? It felt like I heard something. My match with Chloe ended in a draw. Chloe's swordsmanship, that has reached its peak, is formidable indeed. I believe that, if compared with my subordinates, her skill is beyond Albert and Agera. There will be no threats to her when she combines her swordsmanship and her time-stopping ability. The use of emission-type power is impossible inside the suspended world, so magic can't be invoked. Well, I might be able to do it if I become accustomed to it, but it seems to be very difficult. Also, future prediction cannot be used due to the activation of suspended world. I could only depend on pure technique and physical ability, although, an ability that activates through touch seems to be usable. So, if someone who is a master swordsman, like Chloe, did have such an ability, they could easily become the strongest. Oh well, I don't think there are many people who can move inside the suspended world, anyway. Diablo, Benimaru and Zijin, only these three among my subordinates, seem likely to become able to do it. Naturally, it is impossible for them to do under the current conditions. With some kind of chance, it is on the scale of 1 to 10,000. Even though they could receive this ability as a gift, they wouldn't be able to use it. Chloe's purpose might be to let me experience suspended world, and see whether I could acquire it or not. I thought all of a sudden. If that is so, did I meet Chloe's expectation? Because I promised that I would, in one way or another, defeat Yuki and free Chloe, so she doesn't need to worry. Defeat is not allowed. I should show it with my results. After the match, we conversed for a little longer. Chloe seems to have seen when Dino's colleagues had attacked the town and had wanted to help. However, there was no need for Chloe's help, as she told me that my followers are strong. I'm a bit embarrassed, but I'm glad that my subordinates were praised. We talked about such topics for a while, and in the end Chloe said this. Sensei, when the Great War begins, I will challenge Demon Lord Guy Crimson for a match. The order given to me is to stop Guy. So, if Demon Lord Guy Crimson doesn't participate in the Great War, there will be no need to fight an unnecessary battle. If it's possible, with Sensei's persuasion, please somehow stop Guy. As I will be looking for the way to remove the curse, somehow. Okay. Guy is unexpectedly a reasonable guy, I will talk to him and try to get his consent. You seem to get along with Leon, you should ask for his help as well. Okay. I'm going to go meet Leon Oni-chan then. Oh. Then, take care. As I say so, I pat Chloe's head. Hee. Chloe laughed and smiled happily, then she lifted her head after she bowed to me. Her expression was dignified and tense, there was none of the childishness that she had shown but a moment ago. Well then, Sensei. May fortune be with you in war. Leaving those words behind, Chloe left. I met Guy. That's why, just a bit more until Chloe's release. And I emphasized that. What kind of reaction will I get from Guy? I wonder. However, I am not concerned. Chloe's release is the most important thing to me, Guy's circumstances don't matter to me. Chloe is extremely strong, but Guy is just as strong. Honestly, no one can imagine what is going to happen if those two fight each other. After all, both of them seem to have concealed their true strength. You also, so suddenly. However, I understand the story. If it's the hero, there is no lack for an opponent. Moreover, she is the strongest among the awakened heroes who's been called names like, the Nameless Hero, and Jet Black Hero. However, she is the person Leon was searching for as well as Rumina's loved one. What a small world, right? Oh well, I will at least accompany her in this farce. She is an adequate opponent. If it is such a situation, it is a foolish action to be exhausted at this point. Unexpectedly, Guy agreed to it easily. He seems to feel a bit indebted to me since I awakened his subordinates last time. No, he might just be looking forward to his fight with Chloe. Although, I don't think that there will be any problem for Chloe's safety, as I got both of their consent to not use all of their power and keep it down to the degree of a skirmish. I am still a little worried. Guy is a battle maniac as well, it would be good if it doesn't become a serious and fired up battle. Such matters, I will let nature take its course. However, I am glad that I have a good relationship with Guy. Because it used to be common sense that fellow demon lords don't get along, Yuki hasn't seemed to notice that we are making connections in the back. If he knew, the order he gave to Chloe would be different. Oh well, although Dino knows it, to some degree, I'm sure he didn't hear the whole story of when Guy came here. He has leaked something along the lines of Milam coming to play. About Rumina's coming to the research facility, so he might have figured out the cooperation between me and Rumina's. However, as I refrained from contacting Leon, I don't think that Dino noticed our alliance. Dino is not a hard worker, because of that, he is trustworthy in the things that he doesn't know. Thinking that I and Guy are not close, I believe that his objective will be to strike down both Guy and Chloe. No, if I think about it, in contrast to Yuki, either result might be good for Angra Mainyu. If his aim is to take them down together, he would order Chloe to fight to the death. Instead, the instruction is only to keep Guy busy. His main purpose might be to make a situation where Guy can't participate in the war. I believe his main purpose is to decrease the degree of his ruling influence. If he strengthens his control over Chloe, it will become impossible for him to let out all of his ability. You can think of it as this: by giving a loose order to Chloe, the ruling influence will be lost. The current Angra Mainyu is in the condition to use 100% of his power. And there's another. While the purpose of Yuki and Angra Mainyu are the same, the methods they use are completely different. I see. In other words, he judged that it is more strategic and meaningful to use Chloe loosely, so that he can fight with all of his power. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And now it's time for shoutout. I would like to thank you guys for availing the membership and for always supporting me. Thank you. Sith Lord 906. Thank you. Bloody August 13. Thank you. Rule Real. Thank you. Sean Underwood. Thank you. Revokesir. Thank you. Anthony Cody. Thank you. Akira Blackblood. Thank you. Brandon Lee. Thank you. I Love Friday. Thank you. E. Thank you. Carl Armachuelo. Thank you. Bharath Kuamar. Thank you. Brendan Ernst. Thank you so much guys for always supporting me. And please like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates.